يا من هو الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الرحمن الرحيم الملك القدوس السلام المؤمن المهيمن العزيز الجبار المتكبر الخالق البارئ المصور الغفار.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. Welcome to the Electric Mosque's presentation of the teachings of Islam. And I'm your friend, your brother, your host, Hajji, Dr. Roshan. The Electric Mosque's teachings of Islam is also supported and in conjunction with the Guyana Islamic Forum for Education, Peace and Religious Solidarity, known as the Guyana Islamic Forum. An institution that does not believe or subscribe to sectarian thought and wisdom. Dearest beloved divine friends and family, we are non-sectarian and we have been inspiring the Islamic community in Guyana and around the world to say that they are all non-sectarian, but only within their own enclave of their sect, I have observed. But God bless them all, they're coming along. And the Arcades family. So this is in conjunction with the Guyana Islamic Forum. Today, I want to take as the first presentation of the new year of 2023 to appeal to all of us in religions, in humanity, as citizens of this country, to look for what is good and glorious in our country, and to think positive and beautiful in religions and in humanity, within ethnicities, within communities. So I'm trying, my friends, to get a beautiful message out this morning. For us to, first of all, remember to bless and pray for His Excellency President Dr. Irfan Ali, a president of the people, of all the people, whether you vote for him or not. He made that clear. For our country, for our government, and for the opposition to become a positive opposition that will be good for our country. All of us to live in love and dignity, to pray to God Almighty to bless the environment, for us to take care of the environment, to bless the sky and the sea and the earth and the waters, all of which are instruments of the Creator and Lord of the worlds, for bringing forth foods and joy, and which listens to us. The fertilizing wind, the fertilizing waters, the fertilizing rains, to take our messages also to the Creator, the grass, the seas. With me personally, I'm one who loves religions. And as a result of which, I have studied all kinds of religions that you can think of, friends and families, and worked with all of them and with all peoples in humanity. It is, why am I though? It is me. Why am I like this? And I decided that this morning I wanted to give you some snippets from the three main religions. If I have time, I'll try to get a few from Buddhism as well. And the Sikh religion, that is known to be the most peaceful religion in the world today. Islam is in its own way, Sanatana Dharma is in its own way, all dedicated to peace and unity and brotherhood. Anyhow, different religions working together. My love for interreligions stemmed from my upbringing. It is from the culture from which I was brought up, a heterogeneous society in the Upper Quarantine area called Corriverton. No one there were ever in any way biased against members of other religions, but never biased against people of other ethnicities. I only learned that from Region 4. When I grew up and I had to come to Region 4 and I started to see what was going on. And even as a little boy, listening to remarks being thrown at me. And I was wondering, why is Region 4 so different from areas like the Quarantine and the Essequibo Coast? The nurturing component of life, environment, and society inspired me as a child to always be cross-cultural, cross-religions, and cross-ethnic. The nature component within me drew me to study the Holy Bible through the Jehovah's Witnesses. A brother Ned was coming to teach me since I was a little boy, but already the religion of Islam as a religion of peace and goodwill was embedded into my heart by the community, with which I grew up, and to my soul. And my mother, Hajji Latifun Khan, I'll show you her photograph here, you've seen her, who is now passed and is with Allah, the Creator. She is the one who was my first example of a true peaceful and elegant soul. There was a Church of the Nazarene also, which came and started to operate next door to where we lived. Incidentally, this is the same pastor of the Church of the Nazarene who taught me when I was 9 years of age how to tie the Windsor knot. The tie, a very beautiful knot of a tie. And I can never forget him. And as a little boy, I gotta say, also my friends, there's something within me that made me different. That even this pastor was saying that amongst your family, Rosh, you were different. You are a different personality. You talk different. You move different, and so on. And at that age, I went. Nobody in my family did. Nobody in the community went to learn to tie a knot. But I did. I would also go to the Hindi school when I was 9 or 10 years of age, because I had an interest in other religions. And also in the language, and even go to their temple and their churches. It is something with which I was born. So in my case, nature and nurture were not clashing. And my mother, who was responsible for me, would never object. For example, at 10 years of age, I went to typing schools. When it was very unpopular for boys to go to typing schools, you would be called a girl. So in my case, nature and nurture were not clashing. They were components that combined to create who I am today. And with that in mind, it also correlated with the Islamic component, which is against all ethnic and all religious discrimination or strife. And so I decided, my friends, this day to read some quotes from the various scriptures that has inspired me, these scriptures that have inspired me through the ages. The Holy Bible, biblical courses about peace and harmony. Matthew 5:9. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called sons of God. Romans 14:19. So then let us pursue what makes for peace and for mutual upbuilding. Corinthians 13:11. Finally, brothers, rejoice. Aim for restoration. Comfort one another. Agree with one another. Live in peace. And the God of love and peace will be with you forever. It's the power of positive thinking. The universal laws of attraction. What you put out is what you will receive, my beloved divine friends and families. Romans 12:16 to 18. Live in harmony with one another. Do not be haughty, but associate with the lowly. Never be wise in your own sight. Repay no one evil for evil, but give thought to do what is honorable in the sight of all. My God. May you ask the Christians, how many times have they read these things? Reason being, they've always listened to the pastor. Read your books. I'm going to go back on that. It's so beautiful. Romans 12:16 to 18. Live in harmony with one another. Do not be haughty, but associate with the lowly. Never be wise in your own sight. Repay no one evil for evil, but give thought to do what is honorable in the sight of all. If possible, so far it depends on you, live peaceably with all. But you see how smart it is? So far as it depends on you, if people are attacking you and fighting you and beating you, you have to defend yourself. And this is what one of the aspects, the secondary aspect of jihad is. Protecting yourself, defending yourself. 1 Peter 3 to 8. Finally, all of you have unity in mind, sympathy, brotherly love, a tender heart, and a humble mind. 1 Corinthians 1 to 10. I appeal to you, brothers, by the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. That is what they believe, the Lord, the teacher, the Messiah, the example that came as their last. By the name of their Lord, that all of you agree, and that there be no divisions amongst you, but that you be united in the same mind and the same judgment. Colossians 3 to 14. And above all these, put the love which binds everything together in perfect harmony. Ephesians 2:19. So then you are no longer strangers and aliens, but you are fellow citizens with the saints and the members of the household of God. Hebrews 12:14. Strive for peace with everyone and for the holiness without which no one will see the Lord. If you don't have peace and holiness within, no one can see the Lord. Strive for peace with everyone. Romans 12:10. Love one another with brotherly affection. Outdo one another in showing honor. 1 John 20:4-20. If anyone says, I love God and hates his brother, he is a liar. For he who does not love his brother, whom he has seen, cannot love God, whom he has not seen. Wow, so moving, ladies and gentlemen. Let brotherly love continue. Hebrews 13:1. And I will have to skip there a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen, if I have time, I'll come back to it because it's quite long. And I want to go secondly, to Hinduism. There's a reason. It's respect. Some will say, why you not, the Muslims might say, why you not do the Muslims first? Islam, the Quran. But I want to show solidarity. The Guyana Islamic Forum for Education, Peace and Religious Solidarity, the concept of the Electric Mosque teachings of Islam is to use that principle to get the wisdom and the knowledge out to humanity of solidarity and partnership with the other faiths. Hinduism insists on the brotherhood of not only all mankind, but of all that lives. Mahatma Gandhi ji words. Religion is the secret of life. It teaches us to love, to serve, to forgive, to endure, and to interact with our brothers and sisters with empathy and compassion. Advaita, non-duality, is a purely subjective experience, but in daily life, it may be expressed as love and compassion. This is the great lesson taught by the great saints and sages of India, the exponents of Sanatana Dharma, the universal laws. Sanatana Dharma, the ever-living gods, the ever-living laws. Sanatana Dharma, eternal universal laws. Mata Amrit Anandamai. Mata Amrit Anandamai. I move on. From Radhanath Swami, the essence of Hinduism is the same essence of all true religions. Bhakti, or pure love for God, and genuine compassion for all. So, Radhanath Swami is agreeing that all true religions teach the same thing. Bhakti, or pure love for God, and genuine compassion for all beings. Unity in Sanatana Dharma. Let good thoughts come from everywhere. This unity is into existence for ages in India. Thoughts are the things that help a person to stay united with another person in the society. As the above verse, let good thoughts come from everywhere, describes we are always ready to accept all the good thoughts that come from everywhere. Selfless motive has helped this Dharma to survive ages to ages. And let us not forget the invaders who were always going to India to convert, in many cases by force, by trickery and manipulation, but yet Sanatana Dharma lives and strives. And I speak in justice. For our ancestors, we as Muslims, they were all Sanatana Dharma or Hindus. I go on. Our Sanatana Dharma believes that human unity can help us in various aspects. Usually very common example is given for the strength of unity. A small stick can be broken easily. Few sticks together can be broken easily. But a bunch of sticks held together cannot be broken. The same way, when peoples and their thoughts are united for a good cause, there will not be any obstacles. It continues, let us exist together. Let us share the result of our work together. Let us work together. Let us enlighten our knowledge together, and let us not hate anyone. Om, peace, peace, peace. What a beautiful peace. Just like the honeybees unite against the person who tries to steal honey from their beehive and kill him, in the same way, even a united group of weak men can defeat a strong enemy. United. If a stout and sturdy tree with deep roots and a giant stature stands alone, it can be uprooted and smashed to the ground by the storm winds in a short time. But if there are several trees together in a grove, then even the strongest winds cannot destroy them. What beautiful thoughts. And let me go now to the holy and the glorious Quran. I am not here to ever attack religions, but always to unite religions and humanity. Quranic verses and hadith on peace and harmony, religion of Islam. Islam teaches that a believer's faith in God must manifest itself in compassion towards all creation. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "Show mercy towards all on this earth. No one who is above the heavens will bestow mercy on you." Show mercy towards all on this earth. The one who is above the heavens will bestow mercy upon you. That is, if you show mercy to all. The holy scripture of Islam, the Quran, is full of verses that project peace, harmony, and tolerance. Hadith and the Quran encourage Muslims to be kind and gentle towards each other and to humanity. Quran quotes about peace and tolerance in Islam clearly state that the human being are created equal, the human being. Nobody has a priority over another except for the one with piety. Well, a part of Christianity I quoted earlier said the same thing almost, and in Sanatana Dharma. Now here's the basic constitution of the religion of Islam. And for all religions, if they were to pay keen attention, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Quran 49:13. O mankind, we have created you from a male and a female, and have made you into nations and tribes for you to know one another. Truly the noblest of you with God is the most pious. Truly God is all-knowing, all-aware. Teachings of all the religions. So I believe in the progression of religion, but the messages, the basic messages are always the same. The progression of revelations, but the basic messages of the oneness of God and the brotherhood of man is forever perpetual. The Prophet Muhammad, in his famous last sermon of Hajj, said, O people, your God is one, and your father Adam is one. An Arab is not better than a non-Arab, and a non-Arab is not better than an Arab, and a red person is not better than a black person, and a black person is not better than a red person, except in piety. Allah also says in the Quran, to each one of you, listen carefully. Muslims, you listen carefully, please. And all brothers and sisters, to each one of you we prescribed a law and a method. Had Allah willed, He would have made you one nation, united in religion. But He intended to test you in what He has given you. So race to all that is good. To Allah is your return, and together He will inform you concerning over that which you differ. Holy Quran. There are many hadiths spreading peace in Islam. The Prophet Muhammad exemplified for us. And we should know about them and should follow the sunnah of Prophet Muhammad to bring peace and harmony among Muslims and also the whole of mankind. So what is the best way to treat non-Muslims and respect them in the best of ways? Sunan Ibn Mujah is reported that the Prophet had said, O people, spread peace, feed the hungry, and pray at night when people are sleeping, and you will enter paradise. I'm skipping a few, like I was doing with the others as well. The Quran outlines the following commandments for all Muslims. 4:36. Worship God and associate nothing with Him, and treat with excellence your parents and relatives, and orphans and needy, the near neighbor, the further neighbor, the companion at your side, the traveler, and the slaves. But we must remember the word slave was an acceptable thing. But in the religion of Islam, we have to treat the slaves better than us. We have to treat them equal to us. And for everything in Islam that they need, that was used by the owner, they had to give equal to the slave. And if they commit a wrong, the Muslims, they had to free a slave. So when you see the word slave, don't misunderstand this. Misunderstand it. We must remember in every society, everywhere in the world, there are always those people that the society had created to make use of. In India, you had the caste system. In Christianity and Judaism, they had the slave trade. And then the Muslims also did that. But Islam gave them a very serious right and liberation, even rights over the owners at times, to make it difficult to want to keep people in bondage. Moving on. The central component of the Islamic faith is to return evil with good and to respond to hostility with peace. Now, on the previous discussion, then the slaves became kings, many of them. Then they became the greatest reciters of Quran. And then they went back into their countries to propagate in Africa and so on. And they built great empires. And so they became the best teachers in the religion of Islam because the Arabs were more busy doing business and expanding their empires. So the central component of Islamic faith is to return evil with good and to respond to hostility with peace. The Quran states, Quran 41:34, the good deed and the bad deed are not the same. Return evil with good, so that the one who was formerly your enemy will become a most dear friend. The Quran is telling us how to win over the enemy who did evil to you. The good deed and the bad deed are not the same. Return evil with good, so that the one who was formerly your enemy will become a most dear friend. And the Holy Quran states, that's Quran 41:34. Quran 25:43. I hope you're making notes of these quotes, The true servants of the most merciful are those who walk the earth with humility. And when the uncivilized address them, they respond with words of peace, salam. In other words, sometimes you walk on the road, people mock you because you wear the khimar or because you're a Muslim, and they throw remarks and they attack you, but you respond to them, salam, peace be unto you. Quran 25:43. There's another one which is not here that I'm thinking in my head. O people, let us come to an equitable proposition as between you and us, that we worship one God and we comprise one common brotherhood. Now, I still have a few more minutes remaining, so let me give you some beautiful thoughts that I personally like, and I marked them down here. Well, they're mostly from the Quran, incidentally. But one human family under God. This concept is existent in every religion. And Sun Myung Moon, the founder of the Universal Peace Federation, always working for the good of humanity, and created the Ambassador for Peace Network. And so much coined that, one human family under God. But the Quran has it extremely beautiful. Quran 2:13. Mankind is a single nation. Very same message, different words. Quran 9:13. O mankind, indeed we created you from a male and a female and made you peoples and tribes that you may know each other. Indeed, the most noble of you in the sight of God is the most righteous of you. Indeed, Allah is knowing and acquainted. Quran 5:48. To each of you we prescribed a law and a method. Had Allah willed, He would have made you one nation. Cross-cultural. Quran 2:62. Indeed, those who believe and those who were the Jews or Christians or Sabians before Prophet Muhammad, those among them who believed in Allah on the last day and did righteousness will have their reward with their Lord, and no fear will there be concerning them, nor will they grieve. Indeed, those who believe and those who were Christians, Jews or Sabians, they will have their reward from their Lord, their God. La ilaha illallah, La ilaha illallah, Allah. Bless our nation, bless our President, Dr. Irfan Ali, bless Dr. Maher Jagdi, Mark Phillips, our Prime Minister, the Cabinet of Guyana. Bless the opposition to see well. Bless the peoples of our country, all those who are sick and who are unwell. Bless the rains and the water, the fertilizing rains, the fertilizing wind. Give us wisdom and thought and leadership. And with the words I pray, O Allah, bless the waters, those who might be holding it in your name, and those who might be touching my hands, and those who feel and they believe as they say that they feel better. They feel a healing and they feel a love when they touch my fingers on the screen, and also when I recite Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahmanir Rahim, Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina siratal mustaqim, siratal ladina an'amta alayhim, ghayril maghdubi alayhim waladdallin. Ameen. O Allah, keep us away from the path of darkness and evil, but lead us upon the path of those who are righteous and those who are blessed, and raise us to the stage and the power of glory with you. To all brothers and sisters in religion, the Sanatana Dharma, known as the Hindus, the Christians, the Jews, and all brothers and sisters of faith, and those who don't have faith, may God bless you and lead you to understanding. May the peace, mercies, blessings of Allah be with one and all. La ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, la ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. Ameen, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Go with God. Khuda Hafiz.
يا من هو الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الرحمن الرحيم الملك القدوس السلام المؤمن المهيمن العزيز الجبار المتكبر الخالق البارئ